Hello, dear beloveds. Well, I am back from my travels to Ireland, where I was training some new initiates in intuitive intelligence, and it was such a glorious experience. And one of the really glorious things that I got out of it was this was the last time that I was teaching the initiate program live, and I got to immerse myself in the content, and it's been a little while. And of course, when you immerse yourself in something, well, my experience is like being a student is what makes me a better teacher. And so I was able to really dive deep into the science of intuition, of course, which is what the program is all about, and to get some clarity on these ideas that I share. But when we get into them and we get to review them and we get to look at them from another angle and we get to think in a bigger way, anyway, my brain always just kind of explodes with possibility. And I have, I guess, a deeper understanding of the phrase that I've been using and used to define everything the Institute does and everything I stand for, which is our work is beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age. And I really want to define that because I think I've used it understanding for myself. But my job as a teacher is to help everyone else understand what I mean when I use that term, because it's quite provocative, yes? Beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age, what are you actually talking about? So that's what I thought I would go live today. It has been a while since I've been live here. I have almost overcome my jet lag, and you know, even though it's the last day of the school holidays, the children are on vows of silence for the next 15 minutes so that I can actually share this with you. So when I use the idea of my work is of a deep faith beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age, the obvious things are like your power is not in the crystal, your power is not in the, you know, the pendulum, your power is not in the healer, your power is not in the oracle card. You are the power. And I think people get that, but I don't think I've gone far enough. I don't think I've been conveying what I mean in a big enough way. And I think I've got more clarity. Well, I do have more clarity, and I'm going to share that with you now. So when I say beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age, what I'm talking about is whenever we place or privilege the material plane, whenever we believe that matter or form, this 3D local plane, precedes the 5D or non-local or pure consciousness plane, we have it all the wrong way around. Everything in the material plane is a trinket. It's a superstition, because everything that I am witnessing is the product of my belief about it, because consciousness or energy precedes matter. You with me? So whenever I believe that my power or that anything in the material local plane is giving me what I need, or that I believe that it is just existing objectively in the world, it just is, then I have mistaken the truth of what I am, which is pure unlimited consciousness who is manufacturing her reality all of the time by where I place my attention. So a trinket or superstition is just everything. Everything that I am inhabiting in the material plane is the end result of my belief. Now, I want to break this down a little bit. If you're not a student of the third level, or you don't hang out with me in the initiate program, or you haven't necessarily heard all the way as I talk about this stuff, I just want to break it down a little bit. I'm getting excited. Can you see I'm getting flushed? That's not just my bronzer. I want to share this right now because I really feel like I've understood it in a deeper level, and I've got more clarity and more capacity to share with you. So we are, as quantum physics tells us, pure consciousness, pure energy. We are vibrating, and we're not particles at all. We just look solid, but that's just because we're perceiving the world through our dominant 5 senses, which is not true. We are non-local beings, and we are most of what we are is vibration that is invisible to our sight. So we don't see the bigger part of us, the subtle anatomy that surrounds our physical body. We only see the physical body, and we privilege that, ignoring the much larger part of ourselves. And we don't see the fields of everything around us, even though everything around us is producing a field. So we privilege the dominant 5 senses, even though quantum physics has been telling us for over 100 years that we are actually pure vibration, and that vibration is behaving in accordance with our feeling state. So the feeling is the prayer, according to Greg Braden. The feeling that we're generating is directing our vibration, and we call that frequency. So we change our frequency by changing our feeling state. Everything behaves in accordance to our feeling state, not our reasoning conscious mind. And our feeling state is informed by our subconscious beliefs, okay? Stay with me here. So when I say I don't deal in trinkets and superstitions of the New Age, I'm really saying I don't deal in belief as anything other than, or I only deal in belief. I don't believe in physical matter as existing prior to my belief about it. So everything in my world behaves in accordance or in response to my belief about it. I feel like we've gone far down the rabbit hole, but I know you can handle this. And I'm really excited to share this with you, because it's really what we're saying is that wherever we hold a core belief, we are collapsing the wave function, to use quantum physics language. So we're basically, wherever we train our thoughts and we have that thought again and again and again, we collapse all other potentials. We're not existing in a state of infinite potential. We collapse that, and that becomes our reality, because as the law of correspondence tells us, like attracts like. We understand this law even if we haven't studied it. What I really want to do in my work more and more, and coming back from Ireland has been such an initiation into this truth, is to not privilege the material local plane anymore. I don't want to cause that duality thinking, that separation thinking. Everything I do is returning us to oneness, to that unity consciousness that is our truth. So everything is but a vibration. Everything is set in motion by our feeling state. The feeling state is set in motion by belief. The belief is happening at the subconscious level, not the reasoning conscious mind level, because if we were creating reality from our reasoning conscious mind, we'd all be living like rock stars, you know, having the best life ever with all our needs met. That's why affirmations don't work, because we're trying to create from here, but it's the subconscious that is actually the storehouse of all of our belief that is creating our reality. But it is our consciousness, our subconscious in this case, that is manufacturing our reality. Now, this doesn't just happen at the individual level, okay? This is happening at the collective, ancestral, inherited, tribal, entire collective unconscious of all humanity. We share a collective unconscious, that soup that Jung talked about, that we're all participating in. But what happens is when we change our individual perspective and we recognize what we truly are, which is pure unlimited consciousness, we are then changing the collective unconscious. So we're actually emancipating everybody from these low, fearful thoughts that I am reacting to a material world that is dominant, that it is non-negotiable because it's fact, because I can see it through my senses, and that isn't true. We are pure unlimited consciousness. Nothing in this material plane can have meaning other than the meaning I ascribe to it, which is why I get frustrated when people believe that this, which I love, and I have it on my desk, is going to be the cause of their healing. It's very beautiful. Why do I have a crystal if I don't believe that it will heal me? I have it because it's beautiful, and aesthetically it pleases me and makes me happy, and that increases my vibration. Brilliant. It's doing its work. But this and this giant thing of lemon water and this, all of it, and this really cool mouse that Amy Tao gave me, because I am the boss babe, I love it. Thank you for being on brand with my colors. All of that has a meaning that I assign to it. And if I change my perception of myself, I change my perception of the world around me, and I change my reality by creating rather than reacting. So this is a lot. I get that what I'm saying is big, but I also think we're good with this, yeah? We get this stuff. This is part of who and what we are. We, as spiritually fierce men and women in the world, are living the truth that it is our consciousness that creates our reality, and that we have a personal responsibility to upgrade our consciousness, to raise our consciousness, and to become a clearer vessel for the infinite consciousness to come through us, or what Florence Scovel-Shinn calls super consciousness. That we are, if you like, dissolving the boundaries between ourselves and the God mind. But if we are getting caught up in the belief that something in this material plane could in any way cause us to be less or more of anything, we've missed the point. It is only when we return to the quantum realm, the quantum level, that pure consciousness, pure energy, pure light, pure color, pure vibration, frequency, that we are actually engineering our reality rather than just reacting to what we also engineered from our subconscious fear program. I know I'm trying to keep these streams clear. Any questions, hit me up, because this is exciting me. So when I say I am interested in a spirituality beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age, what I mean is I'm interested in a spirituality that isn't invested in the material plane as a priority. So the material plane, or Earth School, is here to serve our awakening consciousness. That is its job. We come to Earth School to awaken our consciousness, to raise our consciousness back to the one mind, to the unlimited truth of what we are. And everything in this material plane, this 3D local realm, is here as a reflection of our belief, of our consciousness, but also as a way to awaken our consciousness. So it has its own independent action, as well as being a product of our belief about it. This is big stuff. This is really exciting stuff, and it's simply repeating what I teach in a different way for me. So my service is my medicine. This is landing for me in a different way, and it's really exciting when I get to hear myself speak about these things. So thank you for hanging out while I get my medicine. And I love to share as things land for me. I want to share them because, you know, that's what the teacher archetype does. It is so vital that we are staying away from the belief that solid 3D material plane is the dominant or most valuable, or where we go to get our healing. It isn't. It's becoming, to use Joe Dispenza's term, less particle, more wave. That is where we go to heal. That is where we go to return to our infinite nature. And it's when we become less particle, more wave, what we're doing is we're changing our mind about ourselves. And we're recognizing that if I want to heal, if I want anything to change in the material plane, it's an inside job. And that inside job is by moving myself back to the truth of what I am, which is super consciousness. Carrie says, will it take you off track if I ask what happens with attachment in people and relationships? No, I don't think that will take me off track, because that is such a great question, because what typifies Earth School is our interrelationships. You know, we learn about ourselves through relationships. It's very easy to be spiritual when you're not in a relationship. Yeah, when you don't visit your family, when you're up in the monastery on the mountaintop and you don't have to deal with people, life is grand. I'm super spiritual. And that's why they say, if you want to see how spiritual you are, go home and spend Christmas with your family. So our interactions with others are simply a reflection of us. And this is where we need to come back to the first law, all is one. Everything I see in the material plane is myself, my own consciousness manifesting itself to help me awaken to the truth of what I am. So the person who I see as the good person, the bad person, whatever, they're all an aspect of me, because there's only one of us here. There's only one consciousness. If that person is in my path, it's because they're helping me awaken to the truth of what I am. Now, sometimes we learn the hard way and sometimes we learn the easy way. Yes? Let me take a sip. Oh, I've gone very rosy. I look like Rudolph right now because I'm so excited. My nose has gone rosy. So when we overcome separation thinking and we return to oneness, even if we're practicing it, because we drop in and out of this, yeah, we don't stay here all of the time, what we're seeing in the other is a reflection of usually our unmet subconscious fear. So we need that person. They're here to serve us, to meet what's in the subconscious basement, because meeting what's in the subconscious basement is literally raising our consciousness back up beyond the conscious reasoning mind to the infinite one mind, and returning to wholeness or holiness through the interaction with the other. So nobody is there by accident, and nobody is actually causing us harm. We can make choices about how long we stay in a relationship that isn't, you know, conducive to our greater good, but never think that that was an accident. When we meet our subconscious fear, however, when we do it consistently daily without having to wait till the shitstorm hits, we can reduce the need for our awakening experiences to be hard. So what I want to say, just, you know, before my kids interrupt me, and because I know that I have finite time, is what I'm saying, and I understand this now so much more deeply, is beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age means to live beyond the idea that the material plane, the dominant senses, are the priority or the privilege, and to privilege my true state of being, which is pure consciousness, which means that I assign the meaning the world has. And when I make that permanent shift from fear to love in my subconscious basement, which is the purpose of raising my consciousness, all the things that occur in the material plane I see as in service to my awakening. And I want to accelerate that. I want the fastest possible journey back to infinite consciousness. I want to embody super consciousness. And so I welcome all the experiences. But as I welcome the experiences, the need for them to be hard, difficult, challenging, traumatic falls away. And as I do this work of meeting my own subconscious fear, I do it for all. So I clear the subconscious, collective, unconscious of all, because I am the only one here. So that's really landed for me. I hope that's landed for you. It's incredibly exciting for me to speak about this out loud, because this is how it kind of gets anchored into my brain. So when I'm saying beyond the trinkets and superstitions of the New Age, I'm saying I will not entertain anything that is moving furniture in a burning building. I won't play in the dream of Earth School as though it is real. And if I want to alter it, like all things, I alter my vibration by changing my frequency, which means holding a higher feeling state, which only happens when I'm willing to meet my shadow, because I cannot bullshit my way through this. I cannot fake it to God. What I'm holding here, putting a happy band-aid on my fear, will not do the work. It doesn't work that way. We get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We sit with our subconscious fear. We use our tools to change the program, and we make that permanent shift from fear to love. And that's how it works. Nothing in the dream has any meaning. Nothing in Earth School has any meaning other than the meaning I assign to it. And that's why when it comes to things like I have to sage myself, or I have to burn my incense, or I have to buy the crystal, or I have to have a crystal grid under my bed, or I have to, have that special magic drum, or I have to have all this stuff, it's bullshit. It's beautiful bullshit. And as long as it is helping you feel better, it's good. It's good medicine. But if you think that it's the medicine, then we've got a problem. Vibration is the only medicine. Vibration is the only thing that is. So you can't manipulate energy or change energy with matter. You have to become vibration in order to change matter. And that's really that's it. That's in a nutshell. You can't use matter to change vibration. You have to use vibration to change vibration, which then changes matter. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it. Thank you for letting me share that. Thank you for your great question, Carrie. And if anyone has any other questions as they listen to this, please, chuck them in here, because this stuff gets me high. And it is the core work of the third level program, and it's the core work of my life. And to emancipate us from our addiction to the 3D, and to get us back into thinking, feeling and reacting and responding and building and growing our reality from the truth of what we are, which quantum physics has been telling us for more than 100 years. We are but a vibration. We are pure consciousness masquerading as form, and our job is to move back into that truth, so that this beautiful material plane, this dream of this Earth School, which is here to serve our awakening, this necessary dream, can become a playground and a pleasure ground, and a place where we can actively awaken, intentionally awaken, and raise our consciousness, not by, randomly bumping into our fears in the form of other people in life situations, but actually becoming conscious of what's in our shadow, in our basement, our subconscious, and altering that program so that we can be free. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much for joining me. Mwah. We are but a vibration. We are pure consciousness. Please don't forget that. Create from that paradigm, and we will move beyond collectively the trinkets and superstitions of all reality, but we're particularly fond of them in the New Age. Let's not deal in superstition. Mwah. So much love.